Coming to you live is the RIP 28 podcast, the RIP 28 podcast. Welcome to y'all to the show. I'd like to introduce my cast. We're going to step up to the plate. We got Sly. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, good people? How y'all living out there, man? We hope y'all enjoy it here on the RIP 28 podcast. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight.
All right, then we got the doctor himself, Jay.
Hey, what's good, people? Ain't nothing going on over here. Just getting ready, mellowing out, getting ready for the show so we can rap to y'all about different things in life.
Last but not least, we got the head of the ship, Captain.
Inez in the building once again. Hey, another week, another time to have a good time. Let's go.
All right. Well, we want to throw up our sponsors. Y'all can follow us on our social media websites. You can follow us at Twitter. You can follow us on IG, also Facebook. We're on Spotify. You can definitely check us out on YouTube. Be looking for more followers. Be looking for any type of support, any sponsorships. You want to throw an ad up there, you're more than welcome. And any donations. If you'd like to see the show upgrade, we all here for you. So today's show is gonna be a little bit different than the usual. So I'm G5. Y'all know me as the Street Thug. I'm asking some questions today to the panel, and I'm also answering myself. Slightly on the serious tip, ain't necessarily diving off the deep end, but we're gonna play it like this. We're gonna take a shot for some of these questions, and if anybody wants to plead the fifth, feel free to take another shot. You don't have to answer the question.
We see Chance over there starting early.
So speaking about these shots, then we're gonna go ahead and go around the table right quick. Tell me what you're sipping on, fella.
Yeah, got a little Cavassier. Got that Busta Rhymes, Pastor Cavassier over here.
Pastor Cavassier.
Big boy bottom. All right, who up next?
I'm on this 1800 right here, man. I'm gonna do a little bit of this tequila.
Coconut, man.
See how
I hope y'all seen that skull at the bottom of that thing.
I'm gonna keep it classy. I just got a little glass of red, little Merlot over here.
Oh, so you saying Cavassier tequila ain't classy?
No, I'm saying I'm gonna keep it wide. That's why. I ain't trying to say nothing else.
We ain't classy.
We ain't classy. That's what
I'm on that Manny Pacquiao. And Hennessy.
And that Nas Escobar.
For sure. All right. Well, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and dive head first into it, like half of us do. First question, fellas, is tell me what was your favorite characteristic of your wife or ex-wife whenever you got married, that made you want to marry. The characteristic of, I know you love them, so we all know that was number one on everybody's list. So what was your favorite characteristic?
Let's get married.
Man, you out here talking black love, man. You out here talking that good black love. I don't even know if I'm being divorced. I might not be qualified to talk on that.
Let Dre answer it first.
Yeah, you the newlywed. You the new man to the game.
Oh, okay. I answered. Okay, so go ahead and take my shot.
Off rip.
Loosen up a little bit.
Yes, sir. The characteristic of my wife that made me want to marry her. Actually, it's kind of funny. We had when we got to know each other, it was kind of, as we grew, we started to be able to finish each other's sentences. And that was like, not necessarily like some lovebird type stuff. It's more like, we both sitting around and one of us would say, let's go to the mall. I was thinking the same thing. Or we'd be talking and we'd be like, hey, well, let's go get something to eat. Or let's go get this type of food. Or let's go do whatever. Like, we was always just on the same page without literally like talking about it previously or having any plans of doing something. And that was very authentic to me. Like, I ain't never had that type of connection with any other female in my previous years.
All right. I see it's a little silent here, so let me go ahead and
Well, you the vet to the game,
yeah,
Cam. So
yeah, I am the vet in the game. Hey, it been so long, it's hard to remember, but
Uh-oh.
I do remember though. All right, so
I don't think she want to hear that.
so all right, I'll get into it. So, y'all know we all from South Carolina or whatever. I went to school in Memphis. She went to Memphis as well. She ran track. I played football. I remember we was in study hall. When you go to college, you got to go to study hall for a certain amount of hours a day or whatever every day. And man, she was in there going off on somebody, right? Like they was having like an altercation. I was like, man, she little track girl, she got a little feistiness in her, she ain't scared of that. I was like, well, I'm finna get that. Yeah, and I worked my way in there. Next thing you know, we've been together ever since. But I guess the little feistiness attracted me to her, because you don't kind of want just somebody who's just gonna be a pushover. You know what I mean? So give me my challenges, I guess.
true.
All right,
I
Juan.
gotta take my shot too. I gotta take my shot.
I got a not similar story, but can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, we here.
Okay. Yeah, so my headset kind of went off, so I just want to make sure. But yeah, so kind of similar to Chance, I was in college. My wife was also in college. Then like she was telling me like I got all this stuff going on, I got this test going on, I got to study and all this kind of stuff. And my birthday was coming up, so I wasn't expecting anything for my birthday. And so I rolled out, and she got all this stuff going on. She had all this stuff decked out for me. I'm like, man, if she can manage that, just imagine how she can manage a household. I would feel comfortable with her being the mother of my kids, because I know, anything ever happened to me, she could right the ship, right? And so yeah, so that was the first time I was like, man, I ain't never dated nobody who could do that and handle and multitask like that. Because everybody know when you got a family, you got kids, and you're working, and and still taking care of each other. It's a lot of stuff that you gotta do. Yeah, so
Oh yeah, juggling that house.
yeah, so
women can multitask way better than us.
yeah. So yeah, definitely me. So yeah, but that was one of the characteristics I realized that yeah, she can go the distance, and obviously she has went to distance. We've been married for 11 years going on now. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
I don't know, man. That's interesting, man. I think back to myself. Well, hold on, let me get this shot ready right here. But I think back to myself, man. When I proposed to my ex-wife, I figured out I needed to propose to my ex-wife. I think it was kind of a little bit what Juwan said. I saw her. She was a great leader. Me, I'm an alpha male. It's usually my way or the highway. I usually take command of most situations. But I saw with dealing with her, I saw how well she was in a leadership program, a leadership position. I saw how she took care of our house, because we were living together before we got married, before I proposed to her.
Shame on you.
Huh?
Shame on you.
Well, I live in sin,
Hey, did she catch the bouquet at my wedding?
Huh?
Did she catch the bouquet at my wedding?
I don't know. That's a real good question, man. That's a real good question. I don't know if she did or not. But we got a picture. I got to find the picture of Juwan wedding. When Juwan threw the garter, he threw it over his shoulder, and the whole dance floor parted like the Red Sea.
But this the guys.
That's the greatest picture ever. But anyway, I looked and I saw my wife as someone who was my ex-wife as someone, who was a leader, who could take care, places where I came up short, stuff that, places I didn't, I wasn't 100%. She was already there, taking over, making sure everything was going great and going.
That's a lot of places if y'all didn't know.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of places. but I saw her as one who could keep me on my toes and keep me straight. And that's when I realized, I was like, I got to.
Hey, Fly, what you saying that, bro?
For sure.
Everybody need that, man, because we need a lot of straightening out.
Yeah, we do, man.
You gotta have somebody that's gonna keep you in line, because we can swerve off real quick.
And it's crazy. It's crazy, man. You say, we need somebody, because all of us are alpha male types. I mean, no lie. All of us try to run the situation, or definitely being used to running the situation. But I look, even me and my ex-wife, we divorced, but every now and then she'll come back in and say, hey, you need to tighten up on this. You need to tighten up on that. And I cuss her out under my breath, but I understand she right. You know what I'm saying? I understand she right. And she do it, because she's supposed to do it. So.
Right. All right. Everybody survived round one. All right, we're going to introduce the question number two. Question number two, we're going to take it to a little bit into religion, not too deep. It's more or less just, what was your coming to God moment, such as what was the situation maybe that had you praying to God, whether it was, a bad night after the club, too much alcohol, or was you in a situation, that you just needed some extra help, you needed God to come down and touch you and get you out of the situation. So anybody like to elaborate on that?
Hey, look, my coming to God moment was my whole childhood. So, we're in church Tuesday for prayer, Thursday for midweek service, Sunday for regular service and Sunday school, and then Sunday afternoon for afternoon service. So I had no choice, and so it was ingrained with me. It was ingrained in me from the start. So
right.
But I wouldn't say I had good. I knew about God, and eventually as I grew up, I made that choice myself. Obviously, my parents can show you stuff, but you still got to make that choice yourself.
Right.
But yeah, that's my story. I grew up in the church, and I was always raised in the church, so I knew the church. But as you grow up, you understand things for yourself, and you make decisions for yourself, and realize that, hey, what your parents, even though it's the same religion, it's still a book, and people read that book, and people see that book totally different, which is why you have different denominations.
Exactly.
So it's good to read for yourself, understand for yourself, and hopefully, even in my household, me and my wife being on the same page about how we want to raise our kids together too. So stuff like that. So yeah, I grew up in. So I didn't have a situation in the club or anything like that.
Respect to the parents. Respect to the parents for keeping J1 straight.
Repent for my sins, because I don't know if I'm going to heaven or hell.
I'm a little bit different. Now, both of us. Now, I did grow up in the church, like similar to what Juwan talking about. My daddy was the choir director. My dad, not the choir director, he was the lead singer on the old folk choir. My mama was the head of the youth board, and we was in church about 2-3 times a week. But I know one time where I prayed harder than I ever prayed in my life. I don't know, well, back in the day, I got a phone call. I was about 23, 24. I got a phone call from DHEC, Department of Health and whatever DHEC stand for, saying my name was on a list of somebody who had tested positive for HIV. And I had to come in and take a blood test, take an HIV test. And back then, like right now, when you go and take the test, you get your results, but you can get your results back in 48 hours. You get
right.
We do the AIDS day. With my old job, we used to do the AIDS day test, and then you do a test for your physical. My yearly physical, we do a test then too. But back in the day, it took 7 days, I think, for the results to come in. Man, bro, I ain't never prayed so fucking hard in my life. Boy, I was at every Bible study for that week. 4 hours. Boy. You know, but then you know the crazy thing is, you know, I get the test back. You know, it's negative test, but they don't tell you who
Who it was?
Yeah,
They
who
put
it
you on the
was? Who
list.
sent you in there?
Wow.
Man, you talking about
Yeah.
you
Comedy
talking about
challenge.
cut the whole roster off. Yeah, I cut the whole roster off. I had to do a whole reset on the whole roster, dog.
Hey, you said that was one list you glad you got cut off of, right?
Boy, you ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. But I tell you, boy, that I was hey, I couldn't.
that's nerve-wracking right there.
As much as I prayed.
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking.
That's funny because if you didn't have such horrid ways,
Hey,
you wouldn't be so scared about it.
hey, man, I was a young man that was long.
Hey, like he said, he was being an alpha male.
That was a long time ago. Long time ago.
He got to thinking, well, he's like Magic. He's like, man, I've been in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? There's good possibility this might be.
Boy, hey.
I'm glad it worked out for you, man. We still got you here because you ain't got that magic money to keep you up.
Yeah, I ain't got that magic money. I would have been go.
Right, you wouldn't have been gaining no weight. Still looking good.
But yeah, I love. I guess it's my turn. Hey, just like Juwan, you know, I was at church Sunday night, Wednesdays. You know, we have a revival or some kind of meeting or something. It's every day of the week sometimes, you know. So I was always in church and you know, doing my thing. I actually was a song leader at one point in time.
You a song leader? Hold on.
Oh, you can't sing.
Hey, I knew the songs I could sound good on. I only sang them.
Bro, you can barely talk about singing.
Hey Dre, I think you done took too many shots.
If it fluctuates notes, you know, I stay away from that song.
Oh man,
I took one shot on it, and I took 2 minutes. But, I'm like Eddie Kane. What I had 1, 2 drinks. Hey, but I guess my moment or moments was you know, I know all of y'all. I guess Sly, you live in Georgia, but y'all done been in South Carolina for your whole life pretty much, you know. I done been to Memphis, I done been to Kansas City, I done been to Arkansas, now I'm back in Georgia, you know, just taking that you know, leap of faith and moving to, you know, different states and, you know, as we got older, moving my family too, you know, with kids that change schools and all that stuff, that's a big risk to take, you know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. So, you know, that's one where I was like, man, you know, praying to God that everything work out like it's supposed to type of deal. Then I guess the biggest one is when I moved from Memphis to Kansas City, because, you know, I used to be a teacher and coach. I thought I was a pretty good coach, pretty good teacher and all that. Then just switched professions to go to manufacturing, didn't know nothing about it. I'm not the most mechanically inclined person in the world for sure. You know, so out there with all this machinery, you know, can be a little intimidating. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna bet on me because I know I can learn this stuff. You know what I mean? Just go out there and do your thing. So, you know, just prayed about that. It was scary, but you gotta do your thing. So that's probably my thing.
For sure. Man, y'all gonna laugh at mine. All right, y'all remember our classmate Tashomi, right?
Yeah,
everybody remember right? Tashomi?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Took that L from Raymond.
Yeah, on cut. I'm still laughing at that dude. I told that man don't let him get out the car. I said, don't let him get out the car.
Oh Lord, I was there the day when that started, the day before when it all started.
In the neighborhood, you was in the neighborhood?
I was at Kevin Jowler's house when it started.
I heard about it. I wouldn't know.
I was there from the beginning.
Oh man.
We'll talk about that one on a different show, but that might be the most funniest fight I've ever seen.
Right. All right, so like I said, I was with my classmates to show me. So we used to be silly, man. You know, like I say, you're in high school, you're young, dumb, doing all kind of crazy stuff. So we used to like ride around back in the day, going to get like we used to make a meal. So we'll do something like go get a Whopper from Burger King, go get some seasoned fries from Bojangles, and then go get a sweet tea from McDonald's or something crazy. We used to do this like from time to time, like on the weekend.
Hold on. Why y'all just get the meal all from one place?
Man, we was this stupid, man. This young and stupid, dog.
Okay.
So
gas was like 99 cents.
right. So y'all remember when Trail used to work at the Bojangles on St. Andrew?
Yeah.
I worked at the Bojangles too.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Trail had the hookup. Remember, I think it was like you asked for some cornbread, and he knew it was you, and he would give you like some extra chicken or something like that. I forgot how it was, but I think you had to actually say you had some cornbread.
Up, man. You finna get my boy locked up.
But that was so long ago. But anyway, so
That's it.
boom, we go get a set. I think we got a Whopper. I think that's when Burger King used to be right across the street from the McDonald's on the river. So we went got a Whopper, and then we stopped at Bojangles, got the French fries, got the seasoned fries, and we was going to Bojangles. I mean, I'm going to the other Bojangles to get the chicken hookup from Trail. So we turned down St. Andrews Road, and next thing I know, a Honda comes flying out of the Bilo exit and like literally hits us on my side of the car, like literally met us on that headlight. So boom, the car hit us. All I remember was closing my eyes on impact, and then we went into the ditch on the same side, on that right side of the road. And all I remember was my eyes closed, and I saw like a little milky situation. And all of a sudden, it's like felt like I was just floating. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, am I dead? And I saw like a little sign, like it was like a caution sign or whatever. And it was like, as soon as I got close enough to read the words, to show me reached over and was like, drink. He shook me so like I came to, and it was like when I came to, it was just like, you know, like what the hell just happened? And so it was like, man, when that happened, it was like, boy, like that took me. Like I ain't gonna say I was necessarily didn't believe in God, but at that time in my life, I was kind of questioning God. But that was just due to some other situations I had going on at home. But so I was questioning God. But after that situation, trust me, I ain't questioning him a day afterwards, because it was just like I literally felt like I was gone when I was floating through that little milky situation. And when like I said, when Show Me woke me up, I was like, wow, like I was like, yeah, there's somebody else here who we ain't in control.
Realize
What you
it's
saying,
the power.
I said, amen. That was the third question whether you were supposed to take a shot too.
Yeah, yep. Going into question number 3. Transition to question number 3. All right. We're gonna talk about okay, what made you pick the sport of choice that you end up, I guess, playing in college? Very simple. Very simple.
Everybody can't elaborate on this discussion.
Hey, why you laughing? Hey, look, I won intramural championship about 5 times while I was in school. Hey, we can talk about that.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I talk junk, but Juwan, I played with you after high school, and you got good, man. You was good.
Always was good. Curly ain't trust me. That's all that was.
I ain't saying you sorry, but you got to another level. You was good. You got a lot. I always could dig you up, but other people used to work on.
All right, Juan, go ahead and tell us about these intramural championships, dog.
No, I had.
That's the only sport you ever played?
I got some good homeboys of mine that I played with. Yeah, we used to dominate. What we used to do, get like 1 or 2 football players. Yeah, and then we'll beat everybody, because the football players got that athleticism. Okay, and so we'll get them, and then we got the brains to be able to use them and tell, hey, get here, do this, and then we win them. So yeah, we name of the team was Retro Jordan, and we were basically a legacy. I was winning championships. We were winning championships for years and so on. We got trophies down in that athletic center down there. So
okay.
Intramural after graduate school too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I played during grad school.
I got you. Yeah. I played a little intramurals with my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated. We used to win that thing every year too. And me and my boy Pat, we were football players too. We used to run the show, boy. Hey, dunking on folks, all kinds of stuff. Man. Used to be good. But you know what, Drake? I didn't pick no sport. I guess the sport picked me, really. I mean, I played basketball, football, baseball, track, everything I could play. I mean, if we lived in a richer environment, I probably would play soccer and tennis and all that stuff too. But you know,
Hey, we had tennis. We had
a tennis
We
team,
had
bro.
tennis. We had bowling too.
I used to cut slide tail all the time.
Yeah, we had it in high school. We didn't have it in at the park or anything like that. We
We did.
Like, so I was already bypassed that. I already had stuff I was playing by the time we got the chance to do that. I mean, just think about it. If you just start playing soccer in the 9th grade or tennis in the 9th grade, I mean,
You behind the 8 ball.
That's your main focus.
No, it's difficult. Look, yeah. I used to get whipped by little 8th graders.
Yeah, the sport didn't pick me. You know, I really love basketball, and with my size, you know, I was point guard / 2 guard if I was gonna go to college, and I was more of a small forward type, power forward type in high school. So going to college and playing basketball wasn't really there. I had some offers, you know, from some small schools, you know, where, you know, some of my boys went and stuff like that. But, you know, as far as playing football, it was just my size and speed and stuff like that translated well. And I got, you know, more looks and more publicity offers in football. So if you're thinking about actually trying to make it to the league or something, I saw Kevin Garnett play at Presbyterian College one day, and I said, I'm pretty sure I ain't going to the league in basketball. I seen that.
Yeah, that was a serious situation.
I'm like, these dudes in high school like this, I ain't going to the league. So I definitely, after that year, I figured that football was my best option.
You know, it's funny. I'm kind of like Chance too. You know, the sport football chose me, because like everybody else, you know, I did all the, you know, I played baseball when I was little. Matter of fact, baseball first sport I played was baseball. You know, I played baseball, basketball, football. I was on the tennis team. I lettered on the tennis team 3 years. But football was just. Yeah. I see you laughing over there, Juwan. I see you laughing. But I have a 3 year.
Hey, he'll basket trash talking. No matter what sport he play, he gonna talk trash.
I was in the top 5 till our coach daughters got old enough to play. They pushed me out the top 5. His 2 daughters did. But
so it wasn't girls and boys tennis. It was whatever. Everybody played against each other?
Yeah, it was co-ed.
It was co-ed. Now, they did have a girls, you know, they had a girls tennis league, but we ain't have enough girls. Shit, be honest, we ain't have enough boys.
Look, we went to a predominantly African-American school, black school, and so we ain't have enough kids to play tennis, and so we had to make it co-ed in order to have enough kids to actually have a team.
And wasn't that didn't like Harry Uncle or something coach that team?
Yeah. Coach Asher. Yeah, Harry was on the team too.
Yeah, he can play.
Yeah. But anyway, football kind of chose me, man, because, you know, I started out playing at St. Andrews Park, and, you know, St. Andrews Park used to have that weight limit. And so in the 7th grade, I was too big. I was too big to play at the park. So Coach Kelly said, well, you need to play for the high school. And so I was in the 7th grade. I was the only person in middle school playing for the high school, and I ended up starting. I started on the B team in the 7th grade. So football chose me. You know, I ain't choose it. I was just good. I was just good, and I was good enough to get a scholarship to go to college. So that's how I became a collegiate football player, man. Just sticking with it, I guess, and being too fat. If I was a bit smaller, you know, I would have played at the park a couple of more years and probably wouldn't have had the same impact I had at the high school. But there it is. There it is.
Word.
My stomach.
Yeah, for me, it was actually it wasn't y'all necessarily, but it was like I want to say I remember Chris Malone.
Mm-hmm.
It was Chris, Herb, and I forgot. I don't know, Chance, you was with them or not, but I remember being in the 8th grade because I remember playing in backyard football. And I used to kill everybody at Briargate, but I never played at the park. I remember all y'all boys used to come to school with y'all jackets on, the Redskins, Eagles, and all that good stuff, Steelers. And so, and it was funny because like I liked the football, but it was like I didn't see y'all was jealous. I just okay, the boys play the park. That's what's up. And I played baseball at the park though. And then next time I just remember sitting in class in 8th grade. I remember Herb them coming to the door. No. They was like, we need Andre. And I'm looking at them like, the hell? So the teacher let me go out to class, and next thing I know, that's when was that Coach Amy? No, that wasn't Coach Amy. I forgot it was our B team coaches. But
it was Coach Lee.
Yeah, Coach Lee. They was at St. Andrews, and y'all was already out there doing the little practice. I guess when everybody was signing up, and then they brought me out there, and I never forget. They told me to run a slant, and I think I caught the ball. They told Jeremiah Bagwell to run a slant from the opposite side. And he hit me in the chest, and then he hit the ground and started crying. And I was looking at him like, what you crying for? He just ran into me. So, like, that's how I ended up taking off for me in football. And then, of course, once we got to high school, like I said, I went to that camp up in Springfield, Massachusetts, and played with some real big boys. Like you said, Chad, he was playing, you should have been a point guard, shooting guard, playing small forward, power forward. I was a center. I was playing power forward center when I was supposed to be playing point guard, shooting guard. Because when I got to Springfield, Massachusetts, that's when I got my rude awakening. They said stand from the shortest to the tallest. So, of course, I'm used to being in South Carolina. I was going to the end of the line because I knew I was going to play center. I got up there. All I remember was this dude walked by me. I slid back to the right. Another dude walked by me. I slid back to the right. And after a while, I was like, hold on. I'm in the middle of this damn line. And the coach came down, was like, point guard. He probably stopped like 2 people before me and started saying shooting guard. And I'm looking like, what? Shooting guard? Like, I don't know how to handle the basketball. Like, I play with my back to the basket. So it was just like at that moment, it was like, you know what? When I get back to South Carolina, I'm locking and loading on football. Basketball ain't gonna be where it's at. But yeah, that definitely was my moment when I realized football was gonna do it for me.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to that camp with you, man, but I couldn't get the money up.
Man, you should have came. That thing was fun, boy. Went to the Basketball Hall of Fame and everything.
Yeah, I remember that, man. I wish I would have went.
All right. So everybody took their shot for the third one. I'm about to take my shot right quick.
Oh, yeah. Man. Andrew, I got work tomorrow, man. You gonna have me thumbed up.
Oh, man. You good, man? All right. So question number 4, we're gonna go into this the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And so we're gonna talk about any situations where you either went to jail or had an encounter with the police. And basically I just want to hear about like how you was treated by the police and maybe how you felt about it after the fact.
I think I got one. I done had living in Columbia, growing up beside Roosevelt Village and stuff, we've had experiences with what we won't call overzealous police officers. Let's just say overzealous police officers. You know what I'm saying? Doing wrong stuff or whatever. But I done been, told set on the curb, stuff like that. Let me figure out who you are, some bullshit like that. As a youngster, when I ain't doing nothing but just walking to the store. I done felt stuff like that, but I had one incident though that but it ain't happened till I got to like my mid-20s or late 20s that really just pissed me off, man. A lot of stuff, man, I just thought was normal. I thought a cop pull you over, you riding down the road or whatever. I just thought that was just normal. I thought that was the way of the world. I ain't think nothing about it. But as a matter of fact, it started with Juwan. We was riding back from our homeboy Leroy got married in Ohio. We riding back in Ohio. A man give me a speeding ticket. Cop give me a speeding ticket. And I think it was on my birthday.
It was on your birthday.
It was my birthday.
He looked at your license and he was like, oh, it's your birthday today.
Yeah.
Before you play.
This motherfucker,
No disrespect.
This motherfucker give me a speeding ticket, And it wasn't nothing but I had it wasn't nothing, but I was going about 10 miles over the limit. You know, it wasn't nothing crazy, but you know, whatever. He give me a ticket. He won't be a dick. Give me a ticket. All right, life goes on, whatever. I ended up paying the ticket, but I paid it late. My fault. I paid the ticket late. You know, lo and behold, the little county or whatever they're from in Ohio decides to send the stuff back to South Carolina and suspend my license. I didn't know my license was suspended because I had moved to Georgia. I moved to Georgia, got me a Georgia's license and all. I'm living in Georgia. This going on about 2 years after this ticket. At least I know it's a year and a half after the ticket. I'm riding in my work truck, riding down, minding my business, and it's a little town called Duluth or Suwanee, a little town called Suwanee, and it's a road you go down, you kind of go down a hill, and once you get about 3/4 down that hill, the speed limit drops to 35. Cop pulled me over for going 45 and said, "Hey, Mr. Williams, looks like you got a suspended license." I'm like, "What you talking about?" I say, "This is my Georgia license. My license ain't suspended." He says, "No, you got a suspended license in South Carolina." I'm like, "Yo, I live in Georgia. I don't have no suspended license." And he like, "They says here you got a speeding ticket in Ohio that you didn't pay." I'm like, "You got to be shitting me. I know I paid the ticket." And then I go in my wallet. Well, he done pulled me out the car by then. He done pulled me out the car, got me handcuffed, you know, on the back of the car. He got me handcuffed. And I'm like, "Yo, look in my wallet." They go to receipt because I had the receipt in my wallet. I just, you know, for whenever I paid it, I just put it in my wallet and ain't think about it. And it's like, he see the receipt. He saw I paid the goddamn ticket. Saw I paid the ticket. And he's like, "Well, the license in South Carolina." I'm like, "I don't have a South Carolina license. I got a fucking Georgia license." He says, "Well, we still got to get it all straightened out." I said, "You can't."
Hey, yo, I never knew this story.
Yeah, I'm like, "You just can't tell me to stop driving, have somebody else come and get me while I straighten this out." Well, you know, we could give you a ticket, but something like this, with it being out of state and all, we want to make sure everything's cleared up, so I'm gonna have to take you in. I said, "Ain't this some bullshit right here?" Well, it took me, I had to go and sit in a little county jail for a couple of hours, you know what I'm saying? While I got people, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. I had to pay the fine to get bailed out of jail. To get bailed out of jail so I could go back to South Carolina, get everything cleared up with South Carolina so I can get all that off my record. And then I'm talking to, because I know by now I know a couple of people who are cops. And they telling me, they like, "Well, technically, yeah, he ain't have to arrest you. He just could have set you to the side and told you not to drive." I said, "Man, ain't this a bitch?" Boy, I was so damn mad at that cop, man.
The funny part about that is, I remember that day like it was yesterday, because Sly Mama called me. He was like, my boy, they got locked in." I think I tried to help pull some strings to help him get out or whatever, if I can remember correctly. It was like, dang, that's crazy, man. I remember that day. It was, yeah, like you said, about 15 years ago. Huh?
It's about 15 years ago, but I was so mad. But yeah, I definitely got to take me a shot on that shit.
Hey, speaking of that, you know, I ain't up been to jail, you know, and y'all joking about it. I'm the only light-skinned dude on here, but I ain't up been to jail. But the whole cop issue and the way they treat you, every time I got pulled over, I got a ticket. Except the last time I got pulled over. And it was I attest this, and I told y'all this in the group meeting. I attest this to the whole Black Lives Matter thing that was going on. Because I was at a red light, and and the red light changed to green, and the car didn't go. So I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make the left turn." So I made the left turn, and this cop come pulling me over, talking about, "Well, when the red light turned green, that you just went." It's like, dude, I ain't just go. And so I gave him my license. He didn't ask for the registration. He just made sure I had a license. He just let me go. That's the first time a cop ever did that. And I'm like really, like it wasn't no reason to give me a ticket or anything like that. It was just, look, it was just a miscommunication. Like, and the dude ain't go, so I went and I made the left instead of waiting. And so I think cops can use their better judgment.
Yeah.
You know, it's always rules, right? But use your better judgment and like, why are you gonna put somebody in jail that doesn't really need to go to jail?
Right.
Like, why are you gonna get somebody a ticket that doesn't really need a ticket for that particular offense? And so, and I think that's what happens a lot of times with these cops and just the bias between African American men, and when they pull them over or whatever, when they encounter them, it's a bias there that people don't really, I don't know. I think we realize it because we've been living it our whole lives, but a lot of other people don't really realize that this inherent bias that they don't give you the benefit of the doubt. Like they should have gave Sly the benefit of the doubt. He showed them that I already paid the ticket, you know. All the stuff in the system was just a miscommunication, you know. So, but he had to do due diligence and take you in and put you in jail, just you know, even though he had proof that what you were saying was true. So,
bro,
it's just a bias.
It's crazy. It's a quote on The Wire. McNulty's TV show called The Wire. McNulty, he says, the last and only true dictatorship on the earth is a cop on his beat. That's the last and only true dictatorship, man. You know, a cop he can be the judge, the jury, and the executioner right there on his beat, man.
Exactly.
Hey, I got two examples. The first one will be real quick. Fly and Dre, I think y'all know my boy Freddie P.
Yeah.
He from North Carolina, so we rode home together. You know, we kicked it like you know, after I think it was either Christmas break or spring break or something like that. We were riding back South Carolina in my, you know, and I used to have the Dodge Caravan.
Yeah.
Got pulled over.
Gold van.
Got pulled over for speed. And police, like, you know, we had suitcases in the car because we was on our way back from a break. And they went through all our suitcases, looked for drugs and all kind of stuff, you know, had us in the back of the car for no reason, man. I like, all right, so if I had some drugs in the car, I wouldn't be speeding because I don't want to get pulled over, you know. But that was one instance. I remember my mom wrote a letter to the police station and everything, you know, like, I did my baby wrong. I'm
Shit
sure,
went straight in the trash can.
Yeah, I'm like,
right.
You know, that was a great notion. I heard, but I'm sure it didn't really go nowhere. But the one time I did get locked up, I was living in Kansas City. I worked third shift at the time, and I was just moved to Kansas City. I don't know where I'm going. I'm getting lost all the time. So I made a U-turn at some place where I wasn't supposed to make a U-turn. Got a ticket. You know, no problem with that officer or whatever. Got that ticket. You know, shoot. I get paid once a month with my job. So it when I couldn't pay it at the time. So I guess they had a certain amount of days that you had to pay that ticket. And I was gonna pay it that next month. And I guess right before then, I'm coming home third shift. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I stop by the gas station, give me a little something. You know, I'm gonna head to the house. Police pull me over. I pull up in my driveway. I'm in my driveway, and he was like, "Oh, your tags show that your car's stolen." I was like, "This is my car," you know, everything. I give them all my registration tag, license, and all that stuff, and they like, "Oh yeah, that was wrong, but you got a warrant for your arrest. You need to put the ticket." I was like, it was like last month when I got this ticket. You know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, get out. They handcuffed me and everything. I like, you handcuffed me for a ticket for a illegal U-turn? He was like, I don't know you. You might be trying to kill me or something. Man, I'm talking about handcuffs is the most uncomfortable things you can put up in your life. And I ain't no little dude. I'm sitting in the back of this car, hands behind my back and handcuffed. I'm like, man, this stuff is crazy right here. Like That's for people who dangerous people, man. I ain't do nothing but pay my ticket late. And you know, it was a little short. He was short for one. Then of course he was a white guy. So I guess he had a little Napoleon complex for one. And then, you know, I was a bigger guy compared to him. And I was like, this just is ridiculous, man. I had to pay like $300 to get out of jail and then still pay the ticket, like you say, Sly. I'm like, is this like conspiracy or something? Like they just want to get you for your money, and then if you don't pay that money, you know, you go further and further in debt and all kind of stuff like that, and get records and all that stuff. Like it's like it's like they can put you in this little tailspin if you don't handle your business up front. So you, it's just messed up. It's jacked.
Yeah, definitely a trap. Definitely a trap. For me, situation was y'all remember Kevin who played with us?
Jowls.
Nah, Mercy.
Brainlock.
Yeah, Brainlock. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, you might want to stay away from him.
Right. So you know, we used to roll with him. Like I say, street. We used to roll with him. So you know, long story short, his nickname graduated to Murder Man. So me and Murder Man kicking it. I come home from school, and you know, I went to that private college, went to Wingate University, which is a private school. We had like a fall break. Well, we had a break. I don't think it was fall break. We just had a break that nobody else had. Like everybody else still was in school. I came home for that weekend or whatever, and I remember running into him riding through an apartment complex. He was like, "Yo, give me a ride to the Stokes." I'm like, "All right, cool, no problem." And he was like, "Yeah, I need some blunts." So I'm like, "All right, whatever." Mind you, I'm thinking he just got enough weed just to try to smoke. I don't realize he got a pack on. So we turned out, we hit Zimmercrest, and it was a roadblock. Like I said, I'm 18 at the time, never been in a roadblock. All I see is a bunch of cars backed up, and I was just looking like, okay, maybe I can just go ahead. I just turn around and go the other way to the store, cut back through the apartment complex, go the other way. So I turn around, so next thing you know, state trooper jump out. Woo! Turn around, go back to the roadblock. All right, cool. So I swing back around, go back to the roadblock. So we finally get up to the point where they actually check us or whatever. So I give him the driver's license, registration, all that. Everything was cool, but he was like, "Do you mind we get out the car and we search your car?" So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, if he got anything on him, it's on him. If we get out the car, they check the car, we good, and we get back in the car. So we get out the car. I'm telling him, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I'm trying, you know, make it like it ain't nothing going on. Next thing I know, long story short, the other officer, the partner, he reaches up under the passenger seat, pulls out the whole zip. Bingo, got one. So I snap immediately. I'm looking at Kev like, man, what the, you know, I'm snapping or whatever. And he's looking at me like in shock. So the officer that had was by me. He pulled me to the side. And he was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Man, I would have told y'all to check the car if I knew something was in there, blah, 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 blah." So he was like, all right, I got you. I told you, I was almost in tears, man. I'm like, "Man, I'm in college, man. I play football. You know, I'm just home on break, man. I was just giving them a ride to the store." You know, I'm sticking with the story, right? So he was like, all right, calm down. So he take me to his car, and he takes the handcuffs off me, but he tell me to stay on the far side of the car away from the other officer. So he's going back towards Kev and the other officer, thinking that they can just take Kev to jail because he, you know, like I said, he can tell by my emotions that it ain't mine. So he was trying to play it like that, but the other officer was like, nah, he got to go to jail too, you know, hand to one, hand to all. So I'm like, word, like this how we rocking. So the officer turned back and looked at me, gave me that look like it ain't shit I can do. So I'm like, all right, man. So he come back to me. And he told me in my ear, he was like, "I'm gonna make sure you get out tonight." So I'm thinking like, okay. And so he puts me in the car. Kev went the other officer in his car. They take us down the Bluff Road, get us all booked in and everything. And so it was time for us to go to the hearing. There's all kind of people going to jail. Old man go to jail because he don't want to pay the tax on his property. Another dude was in there. He done beat his baby mama. I think he like broke her arm. So she coming in. They fresh from the hospital. cast, well, not a cast, but the sling on her arm. So of course he go back, he crying. I'm looking at him like, why you crying? You done broke the girl off. So he go back. So then Kev go up. Man, they ran off that list of charges that he had. I was in shock. Like, I was like, I know you get it in, but I didn't know it was like that. So take him back. So I go right after him. And next thing I know, the state trooper who told me he was gonna look out for me, he pops up into the little courtroom right quick. He go whisper something to the judge. It was a black female judge. And after he walked off from her, she was just like, all right, since I got a good word about you, I'm gonna let you off on a PR bond. Boom, she let me go or whatever. And like I said, that was a crazy experience for me. Like I said, I thought it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Once I saw that weed got pulled out from up under my passenger seat. But that was a look down. But I still ended up having to pay like almost $1,500 to go to the PTI program to get that expunged off my record. Once I hit that summer after my freshman year.
Hey, I will say this though, I've been luckier than most as far as police encounters go, because up in Memphis, I was like, yeah, I play football, blah, blah, blah. I done got let off a whole bunch of times more than a lot of people. But these days, if you play football or something, they trying to get you. I mean, but back then, I guess the Lord, like I said, the Lord was with me, man, because I got pulled over quite a few times, and you know, it wasn't no bad encounter. A lot of times it was some black policemen too. I had to take that into account. But I've been fortunate in my encounters compared to stuff I see on TV all the time.
But you know, it's funny though, man, when you talk about your encounters, it's like, for me, it's not like I only been to jail that one time, but growing up, I thought it was just natural to be hassled. You know what I'm saying? Like we would know, you know, walking by Roosevelt Village, walking up to Bruce grandma, walking up to her store, you know, if it's 4 or 5 of us walking and a cop ride by, we know he gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? We know he gonna stop and what y'all doing? Why all y'all together? You know what I'm saying? Why y'all doing this? And to me, it's like, it's just so strange, the stuff that I figure was natural, was supposed to happen, that I never really thought twice about. And, you know, I ain't think twice about it, you know, till I got to Kentucky. You know, you see white boys going crazy, doing all type of crazy shit, and be like, y'all ain't worried about going to jail now. You know, it's like cops don't even think twice about fucking with them. But yeah, I've been fortunate though. That was the only time I've been to jail. But being hassled, oh man, I used to get hassled all the time as a kid. You know.
Word. Well, I'd like to appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying, for participating, you know, sharing their stories. And this definitely was another good episode of the RIP 28 podcast, coming to you live as always. And we definitely want to do our little parting ways and everybody share their piece, but definitely want to let our listeners know you definitely check us out on all our social media websites, and follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and everybody go ahead and share their parts. We'll start back with Sly since he right here.
Well, you know, man, first of all, I want to thank everybody for listening, man, everybody for joining in and stuff like that, man. But it's been very interesting, you know, topics we talk about. One thing on the RIP 28 podcast, man, we try to give you a little bit of who we are. And I appreciate Dre for bringing up a lot of these subjects so you know some of the history of us, man. Now, I hope that we had a chance just to tell you about where we come from, about a little bit of who we are, man. And I appreciate that opportunity.
This episode definitely been a walk down memory lane, different conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that. So man, it's good, man. Just chatting up with your homeboys and reminiscing about different situations and realizing how those situations play out. It's a good show. Brought up a lot of issues with the whole police situation, which is currently going on, and how they kind of look at the black male and different things that happen with the black male. And so, I think we all have had similar experiences. And being a black male, you probably gonna still have those experiences just because of that bias that exists there.
Hey,
Yeah.
You jumped in front of me earlier with my light skin joke, but that's all right. But I was gonna get one in, but you already stepped up in it and got it. But for real though, guys, man, I think it's an honor and a privilege, man, just to be on the show with you guys, man. Just think about this. All those guys grew up together. Juwan lived down the street from my mom used to babysit his little sister and everything, man. And you know, Fly and Dre met y'all guys in middle school. I mean, I want to say it might have been the first week of school, man. Me and Dre, them little gangs tried to get us, man. And I think we had baseball practice. Something Dre had a little bat with him, and we had to stand toe to toe, ready for war in middle school, man.
Hey, look, Fly used to protect me from bullies. Me and the whole crew.
It's funny. I used to protect Juwan in our crew. And even Chance, I had to step up for Chance in the ninth grade.
You did.
I had to step up for Chance in the ninth grade, man.
That was a high school.
Our star linebacker wanted a piece of Chance. Chance happened to get to know his ex-girlfriend in an intimate way.
Yeah.
And my man, our star linebacker wanted to introduce himself to Chance.
Want to tune him up.
What he said? He'll walk around the table. I just want to talk to you, Chance. I just want to talk to you, Chance. I just want to talk to you.
Oh man, I remember that. That's classic, boy. I remember that.
I had to say, hey man, I said, that's my quarterback.
Oh man.
That's my quarterback. You ain't doing nothing to my quarterback.
Right.
I do remember that, bro. I do remember that day.
Oh
Right.
man.
That was one for the record books right there.
Oh yeah. I told Chance a couple of weeks, well, probably about a month or so ago. I told him he stood tall with me when had a little situation. Adrian, I don't know if y'all remember Adrian from Clever High.
I remember Adrian.
Yeah, he ran up on me, put a little 22 on my chest. He had a little situation going on with my cousin, couldn't find my cousin, so he came checking down to the next person in line. And he rolled up on us going out to football practice, actually, during the summertime. Chance stood right there. He ain't moved. He was down the ride. But me and Adrian got to the bottom of the situation. But
well,
Chance ain't moved.
He ain't really mean to stand with. He just got bad reflexes. He ain't moving the
Yeah, he had that 22. He had that 22 pressed to my football pads. But it was all good. We worked it out.
Man. Yeah, my boy. You know the funny thing about Adrian, man. Me and Adrian, I beat Adrian up. We was in 8th grade. I was getting off the bus to Columbia High to go to football practice.
Right.
And he was talking trash. I like to crack. I crack with the best of them. So I got the cracking with him on the bus. And I heard his feelings or whatever. I said, I heard his feelings in front of a couple of girls. So he was like, man, I'm about to get off the bus. We gonna fight. So I got off the bus. And, I ain't never been one to back down from no fight. So I ended up beating Adrian up. And from that moment on, every time I seen this man, I'm talking about 20 years later, we and Mr. Lucky is all us drunk. He walked up to, hey man, this Sly, this the only man ever beat me. And this every time I see him, that's the first thing come out of their mouth.
That can't be the only guy who ever beat him up because he was only like a buck.
I can see Adrian doing that though. I can see him doing that all day.
No, yeah. Every time I see him, the first thing come out of his mouth, man. But he been my boy ever since though, man. Ever since, but that's funny though. Sometimes you got to go and squab up with somebody.
Got to get your respect somehow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man. Close it on out, Drake.
Like I say, appreciate everybody for listening. All our listeners, like I said, we looking for anybody to follow us, pass on the word. And We going up out of here with our song.
And that anchor got us on all podcast stations. Anything you want to listen to it on, we on that.
We own it. We on Apple, Podbay, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Twitter, Anchor.
Everything?
We on
Everything.
SoundCloud? We on
Everything.
SoundCloud?
SoundCloud.
Everything. You
Nah,
can follow us, man. Follow. Make sure you click that subscribe button too. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, man. RIP 28 Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're into me,